We started doing this jigsaw at the beginning of lockdown, but as you can see, we haven't got very far. I think part of the reason for that is because we don't actually know what the picture is meant to look like. It's a murder mystery jigsaw, so you read the booklet to find out part of the story, and then the final clues come by piecing together the jigsaw. Got me thinking about the situation we're currently in. We all really want to see what the big picture looks like, don't we? We'd love to know when lockdown's going to end. We all want to know when we're going to get back to normal and what that normal will begin to look like. Maybe different from normal before. We just don't know. I've also been noticing as well that people are posting loads of stuff on Facebook, and it'll be interesting, won't it, when those memories start reoccurring next year. What kind of images, what kind of memories and emotions they're going to evoke for people. I wonder what our 2021 selves, what message that they would give to our current 2020 selves. Of course, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but we can look back, can't we? And I know that my current 2020 self, looking back at my 2019 self from a year ago, would be saying, actually, it's all going to be okay. And I say that because a year or so ago, I was going through a bit of a tough time with regards to my job. Things were not going well, and I really couldn't see any way forward. I talked to the family and prayed about it, and I felt the only solution was for me to give up my job. And so I resigned with no other job to go to. And that was a mixture of perhaps being brave, or maybe just being really, really stupid. And I had a few months where I didn't know what was going to happen. Looking back, I can say now that it's been a great year, and I've had opportunities this year that I would never have even imagined 12 months ago. Of course, I don't quite know what that's going to look like going forward into 2021, 2022. But the thing that I clung to through those difficult times was a promise in the Bible. God says, "For I know the plans that I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future." I know that throughout those difficult months when I didn't know what was going to happen with regards to my job, I know that God was with me. And I know that he was holding my hand. And even though I couldn't see the big picture, he could. And you're probably familiar with that, the classic poem about footprints in the sand, but let me read it to you anyway. One night I had a dream. I dreamed I was walking along the beach with the Lord, and across the sky flashed scenes from my life. For each scene I noticed two sets of footprints in the sand. One belonged to me, and the other to the Lord. When the last scene of my life flashed before us, I looked back at the footprints in the sand. I noticed that many times along the path of my life, there was only one set of footprints. I also noticed that it happened at the very lowest and saddest times of my life. This really bothered me, and I questioned the Lord about it. "Lord, you said that once I decided to follow you, you would walk with me all the way. But I've noticed that during the most troublesome times in my life, there was only one set of footprints. I don't understand why in times when I needed you the most, you should leave me." The Lord replied, "My precious, precious child, I love you and I would never leave you. During your times of trial and suffering, when you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you." I know this is a very scary time for many of us, and we really want answers. We want to know what's going to happen. Of course, we don't know what that big picture is going to look like. But my prayer for you is that during this challenging time, that you will allow God to carry you.